Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. We have the whole Schoolers mod team um, on our live today, and we're going to just kind of talk and share what it's like to be a Schoolers mod. So, if we can, because not everybody knows us, do you guys want to go around kind of just introducing yourself? All right, we're going to start with Elena, the community manager.
What's up, everybody? My name is Elena, or you can call me Zinger. That is a nickname that Sam and Kirby gave me when I was first hired at school because my last name before I was married was Zanger, and they thought that it was like a Zinger burger from KFC, which I've never had. So I'm very sad about that. But that's me. I'm the community manager. Good to see everybody.
And then we'll pop up corn over to Mirtha. You're muted, just so you know.
Of course, I'm muted. So my name is Mirtha, and I'm relatively new to moderating. Super excited to be part of this incredible team. And also brand new to being a schooler, now that I think about it. Born and raised within one community, which is what inspired me to stick around school, and I'm not going anywhere. Thank you.
Love that. All right, Tristram.
What's up, everybody? My name is Tristram. I'm from New Zealand, so pretty much on the other side of the world. Been a part of school for pretty much since the beginning, so it's cool to just see the whole journey of how it went, and became a moderator for this group sometime last year, end of last year, and it's been pretty cool because I love school and I believe in the vision here and what it's about and what everybody's here, all their mission is, and so it's cool to just be part of the team.
Awesome. Fun fact for Tristram, he was like one of the top people when there was a school games community. So, the OG. Jesse?
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Jesse. I am moderating now for just over a year. Like Jenna and I just had our 1 year anniversary of being a moderator, which is very cool. Also, fun fact, we were moderating before the official manager Zinger was there. So we are the OGs. No, it's nothing like that. But it's been really fun. So happy to talk to everyone.
Yes, the days when we did everything via DMs. It was a lot. Ellis.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ellis Sargent. I'm from the UK and I've been moderating for nearly a year now. But I was a member in the school games since August 2024. So it's been a while, and yeah, that's me.
Nice. Yeah, it's fun to find out where like people came from and where they spent more time, whether it was school games or school community. I'm Jenna. I am another one of the moderators. I like to be very active in school all the time, even if I'm not moderating. Been here since January 6th, 2024, and I think as far as being a moderator too, like just saying being asked by Kirby to moderate was like a huge honor, and I cannot believe that him and Sam were moderating Schoolers like the whole time before we were here. So that's pretty crazy to me. But so we're gonna jump into some questions. And because we were all schoolers, I think that some people don't understand this part sometimes, that like they see us as like school team or something that's separate from being a schooler. But we were schoolers, but we were at different levels when we became mods. So maybe we could jump around. Why don't we treat this kind of like a popcorn thing where you can say something and then we can jump around and share our thoughts on it. So I'm going to throw this back to Jesse. What was it like being a schooler before, and like what level were you at before you became a mod?
I think I came in at the Hormozy wave, and not for the book launch, but when he just had the announcement. And then I was around in the community, just active all the time, trying to report posts that I thought were breaking the rules, which also kind of led to this entire thing. But it all started with being helpful here. I've also moderated Facebook communities for a while. And I think for level, I was like level 7, something like that in school games. And then we switched over to school communities when it had to merge, and I went back to level 4 or 3, something like that. Like, no. But like last week or so, I got level 9. So finally, I have goal achieved. But yeah, that's it for me.
You want popcorn or somebody?
Oh yeah, popcorn. Alice, let's go.
So yeah, I joined the school games in August 2024, and I think since then I was active. And I remember when it got merged into Skoolers, and I wasn't keen on it. I can't remember if Kirby sent me a message or something like that, or in the comments, and I said I wasn't really keen on it, and he said to me like, give it time, and I gave it time. And then so I wasn't like, during the part about 2025, like early, I wasn't that active, but then I became very active in Skoolers, giving my opinion on posts, helping people out if they ask questions like, where can I find this or that? And I was level 7 when I got asked to become a moderator by Kirby, which was one of the best days ever. I remember it was in the evening, and yeah, it was great. So yeah, I'm going to pass it on to Tristram.
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise of becoming a moderator is just seeing the volume of posts that come in. Because when you're a schooler, you just kind of see whatever everyone's commenting on, right? And when I first started, there was just tons of posts coming in, and then you just get to see all the the crap, I would say, like. Because it's moderated, Skoolers is moderated now. Most people don't see the crappy posts, and I think that's a good thing, because when someone comes in, they're there to try and build an online business and stuff. And when you see certain posts and people talking about spammy kind of things, it's not really a good experience. And so being a moderator, it's just cool to see the other side, and see the good and the bad, because it's you're always going to have some bad stuff with some good stuff. And so one of the biggest surprises, I guess, of becoming a moderator. So Mirtha, what do you think about that? What's your biggest surprise?
So my biggest surprise, aside from the sheer volume of the posts that come through, which when I was just a schooler a little bit ago, I could never think of the amount of dedication and love that it takes to go through all these posts carefully, and how much of it is it needs to go away for the better to keep this space as premium and lead as it is. So I think it was a bit shocking, the sheer amount of moderation that can take place, and also how sensitive people can be. Like we are coming from good intentions. Sometimes we are like hurting because we don't want to moderate a certain post, and people can't see that. They don't see our pain or how uncomfortable it can be, because we don't want to take posts away. Like, some posts are good, they're just not related at all to what we're doing in Skoolers. And I see the difficulty that can come for people to understand the difference. And so that was also a surprise to me. And so, yeah, I'll popcorn the same question to Jesse.
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise with moderation in general is just like how much context is being used. So like from the outside, it's like, oh, my post is being removed for certain reasons, but from the inside, there's like pretty much all the time, there's multiple people looking at a post, talking about it, thinking like, hey, what can we do to maybe even update the post, like send a DM to someone like, hey, this was all right, but can we make it a little bit more relevant? Because that way we actually make sure it fits the rules, you know? Like, we are not out there to delete your post. Like, maybe some people are getting that impression. That is absolutely not the case. We try everything we can to make Skoolers as best as we can. What do you think, Alice?
I mean, some people do go mental when we delete their posts, but most of us have good. We want to be nice, and some of the moderators aren't that nice, especially at the host of the call right now. But
I'm about to ban you.
But
I don't think people. I don't. Pause. I don't think people understand. We have like a little rivalry between us, and it's all jokes for people that don't understand. If you see us in the comments going back and forth, it's because it's fun. It keeps it lighthearted, even if Ellis is an alien. All right, go ahead, Ellis.
But yeah, being patient, not acting on emotion sometimes is hard, especially with certain posts. Sometimes it can be difficult, but helping someone is very rewarding. So yeah, it's great being a moderator. Elena?
Yeah. So my journey to becoming a school mod was a little bit different than everybody else's. Like, I didn't actually know Jenna or Jesse or Ellis or any of you guys before becoming officially hired at school, because I didn't spend too much time in Skoolers. I've been on school since 2023, but it was mainly helping my own clients when I had my own business move from Facebook or Kajabi or some other terrible platform to school. And that's like how I was first introduced. It was like, hey, we've had this Facebook group, like we should join a different like platform, we should join school. And so I helped with that whole migration and everything with those clients that I was working with. And just, I think the simplicity of school makes it so much more enjoyable to engage on. Like, I didn't feel like I was missing things, or like, oh, I haven't logged in for a couple of days. I didn't feel like I was completely out of the loop. And you know, you start to actually like remember people's names and create friends and then meet people in real life. It's crazy, like how much it can just like grow from just joining an online community. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I think one of the biggest surprises that I have experienced since becoming a moderator was people thinking that I'm a bot. Like, even when I sent them a video of me, that I was not a bot. Like, I filmed myself and was like, hey, like, no, like, I'm actually talking to you. And so I thought that was interesting because, of course, like AI and automations and having like automated responses and things have become more and more common. But that's one of the things that I have loved the most about school, is that everything is still so human. And so it was surprising to me that people expected us to moderate as bots and like to have automations and things like that. It's like, no, we're humans, like we're all doing this. And so that was probably one of the biggest surprises that I had. But curious to know about you, Jenna. What are your thoughts on that?
I'll be honest. I thought Elena was a bot, and I remember getting moderated by her, and I was like a little bit pissed off. I'll be honest, Elena. I was like, "Who the hell is this?"
I do remember that. Yeah, you were mad, and that was before you were hired as a mod.
She doesn't know what she's talking about. What the hell is she moderated for? That's what I thought at my first beginning, like first interaction with Elena. But since then, we've been like, it's been awesome. So just thought I'd slip that in there.
I think that's a great point, because I know even like Ellis, right before he became a mod, he had just gotten moderated too, and we were like, oh well, that happened, you know. And so I think that's a good point for people to understand, is that even if you were moderated or you've had a post deleted, or it's like a rite of passage, you just gotta get to know the community too. Like, yes, the rules are not easy to find, right? Not every school community wants rules front and center, right? They don't want that vibe. So it is something that you have to choose to make available if it needs to be available. And I think like joining Schoolers, the mod team, I was level 9, right? And I think something that surprised me was like how fast, because at first there wasn't a mod team, it was Sam and Kirby, and then I got this message from Kirby, and then within I think like 15 minutes I was a mod, and I was like, oh, whoa, what do I need to know? You know. And since then, as far as like a big surprise for me was, and I know like it's hard sometimes to see as a moderator how other people are choosing to treat the other mods or talk to the other mods, because it's like, whoa, I cannot believe you said that kind of thing, you know, like yikes. But as a human, if we're getting that kind of reaction, right, or we're getting that kind of message or whatever is coming from them, there's a lot of emotion behind it, and these are real people that really like it matters a lot to them. Like it's not something personal to us, right? Even if they feel like it's personal in the moment, right? It's not personal, and we know that like the mod team, and something that Kirby laid down at the very beginning is like have empathy for these people. They were here to make their business. They're here to they really care, and that is why sometimes we see those strong emotions, is because they care so much. And so I think the biggest surprise was learning to step back and look at a bit different perspective, and even if someone is shouting at you or yelling and cursing at you or whatever the case may be, there's a deeper like emotion behind it all, and we can, as humans and as schoolers and as business owners, take a deep breath, maybe go take a walk, drink a shot of water, right? And but then also still care. We still care about them even when they do those things. I mean, sometimes boundaries are still good, right? Especially if you are moderating your own community or whatever, and if someone is making too much of that, you don't have to put up with that too, right? But I think it's really good to see how Kirby was leading moderation with empathy and caring and seeing a bigger picture, and not just being like, hey, you little rule breaker, oh, you gotta talk to me, all right, you no, there's lots of chances given if someone is banned, right? Because it's not easy to ban. In fact, most of them are temporary bans too, you know. It's like, we want you to be here, but there are some things said. So that was a big surprise. Going to another question, what type of post do you wish people made more often? And I want to throw this to Mirtha.
Okay. I like to see more of your experiences building community. I want to hear more about it. And some people share, but I think we can all share more. So much happens as I'm learning myself as a schooler. There's so much growth as a person I have like gone through. And so I know that there's a lot more that people can be sharing about what it takes really to build community, keep community, maintain community, you know, and scale it. Like, I can see more of that, I think. Yeah. I will popcorn it to Elena.
Yeah, I think for me, I would like to see more of people doing things and talking less, posting less, and then sharing what they did. I think there are quite a few posts that are made in Schoolers where people are speaking from theory, or like, I want to do this thing, or I think this thing will work, or this is probably going to be a good idea, instead of just spending that time, instead of writing a post that takes you 30 to 45 minutes, like spend that time actually putting that theory into action, and then tell us how it went. And something that I have noticed from all the conversations that I've had with Schoolers is that people think that they can only share when they hit like 10K MRR or 30K MRR, when they've gotten an emoji. And I wish that more people would share the smaller milestones of like, hey, this was my first day on school. I went and set up my community. Here's what happened. And then share that. And then, okay, I got my first 3 members. Here's what happened. Share that. And so I wish that more people would share those smaller milestones, because I have gotten some people in my DMs being like, well, I don't feel like I can share because I haven't made, 10K a month. And I'm like, well, we still want to hear from you, because there's plenty of people on school that haven't made 10K a month. And so you're probably ahead of at least one person that could learn from your journey. So yeah, that's what I would like to see more of. But yeah, curious, Ellis, what about you?
A bit similar, or very similar. I always say that like the current pin post, for example, one of my favorites, same as Nick's post from like a year ago. I loved it because the title, for example, was the result they got. I don't know, for example, they got 300 members. Then they explained how they got it, and they showed proof that they got it. I love these posts, and like Elena said, it doesn't need to be how I hit 10K MMR, but it could be how I got my first 10 members. Have you got your first 10 members and you DM'd all your family members and your friends? I'd love to see that. But unfortunately, most people think that you need like a big achievement, like I hit my first 5K. But 100 members, like loads of people would love to have 100 members or even 50 members. So I'd love for people to just post wins like that. So, Jesse, what about you?
Oh, it's very difficult to add to all these things because I agree with all of them. But I think that your post or whatever your result is, it doesn't need to be perfect. Like you can still run an experiment, like send traffic somewhere, and if you think like, hey, this didn't work for some reason, you can still share it because it's a lesson for you, but other people can learn about it as well. And I think that the bar doesn't need to be set so high. You don't need to win all the time. Sometimes stuff doesn't work out the way you want it, and maybe maybe that could be a cool post if you learn something like that. Tristan.
Yeah, just the source, man. Just if you know how to make 500 MRR or 100 MRR or 1,000 MRR or 15K MRR, whatever, just share the source. Like a lot of people just hold the secret. Like just share the secret. I don't think we need to I wish people just didn't gatekeep stuff. And you see like a lot of the really top earners, they just tell you everything exactly. And even for people that are not, the top earners, it doesn't even matter. Like, a lot of people would be happy with, an extra 1K MRR or 2K MRR, per month. And so, more posts like that, I'd like to see, because there's always someone, like everybody in Skoolers is, if you've been there for like more than 30 days, you're ahead of someone else that's just starting like today. And so if someone brand new starts today and you've been here for 30 days and you say what you did for 30 days. I shared my link on my, on other platforms every day for 30 days. This is what happened. Like those types of posts are cool. Like the ones that everyone's already talked about, like your experience, say what you did. Too many people just kind of talk theory, and it's just, I'm about results. And so, share the results, share the source. That's what I think anyway. More posts like that. Jenna?
I am gonna give 2 takes because I think that everything everyone else has said I would 100% agree with, right? I think that being more specific on what kind of posts, I would love to hear about people's traffic, okay? And the reason why I bring that up is because if we're paying attention to what Sam and Kirby are bringing up every single time they give examples, it's always like this person has this traffic scores and they do school link in bio. I think there's too many people that are thinking like, oh, Growth Boost is going to be like my traffic source. Like, well, if you looked at the notes, Growth Boost and Discovery was number 3 and number 1 was bring traffic to your school. So I would love to see more posts about things that people actually do. Again, actually do it, and then tell us what you've done. And those make me really happy, because that's something that even a brand new person could read and get something out of and then try to go do. My second little slight twist is for feature requests. Okay, what I would really love to see in feature request posts is keeping it as to the point, as bullet point as you can, but providing the use case. So it's not just what I want. Hey, I want voice notes. Okay, but why? Or I want to edit DMs. Okay, why do you want to edit DMs? And then would you put a limit to the timing on how long you would edit DMs? What could go wrong if you didn't do that, right? So if you would share, especially when somebody does share a feature request too, right? Other people that say that they want that too, I would love to see them start saying why or how they would use it, because I feel like that is more useful. If I was Sam looking what's the next thing we want to put on the roadmap, if I was Sam or I was the team trying to decide what's next, let me go read what people are wanting, why they're wanting it, why they can't live without it, kind of thing, those things, without it being a blog article. So that would be something I would love to see more of, because I think it would help everybody involved.
I think that's good, because it helps Sam and then build the product, right? But if you are, because all of us are community owners, and so if you see what happens in this community, then it's kind of how you should model it in your own community, because everyone in Skoolers is a group owner, right? And so they have their own group. And so if we, if more Skoolers are saying, this is the feature request, this is why I want it, and then you go in and you ask more questions, why do you want it, explain why, that's something that people could do in their own groups on how to actually create, courses and products and of what their community actually wants. So if you see what we're doing in Skoolers, you can just model it for your own community. So I think that's a good point, Jenna.
Thanks. I know this is random, but it was I wanted to jump back to one of the biggest surprises since becoming a moderator too. I think that, and we might even bring it up later, but we're so united as a team. So see, most of us were saying we would like to see more posts of what's people are doing, right? We're all kind of united as a team. So there's times where we don't necessarily always agree with everything, or we were well, I don't necessarily see it that way or whatever, but we still come together united as a team to discuss things. So if there's ever a person out there that's oh, I'm being moderated by this one person all the time, it's probably because you're just on the same time zone. It doesn't have to do with that person specifically about coming for you, it might be more of yeah, you happen to live in the same country.
I think people forget that, because me and Jesse are opposite times, and so his late is my early, and my early is his late, and so it's the same thing for everybody in Skoolers. People that wake up in the morning, it's just a different energy, different vibe. We always talk about vibes, right, Jesse?
I mean, I see everyone all the time. When I go to bed, everyone is on, and then when I wake up, they're still on. It just keeps going. It's a very international thing, but yeah, we have a lot of memes about that.
Yeah, that's actually something we should tell everyone. We're in different time zones, so we cover 24/7. I don't know if people know that.
We see all of it. What's the most rewarding part of being a moderator? I want to throw this one to Jesse.
Ooh, what I really like is when I'm in Skoolers and someone is maybe not new to school, but new to Skoolers, and they comment something hey, I made this work, I got X amount of members, X amount of revenue, whatever they got, but maybe they're only level 1. It's please make a post about this. So I will actually reach out to them saying hey, can you make a post about this? And if they are level 1, I will just go to the profile, like everything to make sure they are level 2 so they can actually post. And then when I do that, it's just it absolutely makes my day. I love that. Singer.
Yeah. I really like the team. Like I really like the mod team that we have here, kind of like what you, Jenna and Tristan were talking about, how we're so united. I think it's moderating is hard. It's hard to do, especially when you do have people that get upset or that don't understand or see all of the context that we see as moderators. And so being able to have people that can give second opinions, this is something that I want to be very clear on, is like we do our very best to not just have one person making all of the decisions all the time, because then that could make it very biased. And of course, there's always going to be some subjectiveness to it. Wow. But having second opinions to where it's like, hey, I'm not sure about this post. What do you think? It's really, really helpful to have the team there to be able to bounce those things off of. So I really have enjoyed that aspect of it. And then I think that this role has helped me learn so much more about Skool than I ever did in like the 2 or 3 years of being on it before being a moderator. Like when you're constantly, hey, what's the answer to this question? How does this work? What does this look like? Like I've been able to learn so much more and help so many more people because of that. And that's been very rewarding. So I've enjoyed that part of it. Jenna, what about you?
I agree. I really like our team. That's a huge thing. And I think one of the nice things is like the team was created through the team, right? I know when like Kirby messaged me, he actually initially messaged me and asked if I knew anybody that would want to be one. I was like, what about me? And then it was like, who do you think would be good? And I was like, Jesse. And then I was like, Tristram was like #1 in school games when Elena was asking. And it's been fun. And then we get to meet them and see them, and then like we all have like a little bit of input too, you know. It's really nice to have a team that's like curated to, or I would almost say that we're friends, because like what's really cool is when we're talking about second opinions, right? We're doing a 24-hour shift, but it's usually just one person on shift technically, and sometimes we overlap a little bit, but we are so dedicated to school and schoolers and like helping each other out because we care, that we'll log back in and like answer questions or help. Like you can tag me and I'll like say, look at something, you know. And it's not like, oh, I'm getting tagged again, or oh, I'm on my day off, don't talk to me. Like it's nothing like that. Or it's fun. And we have like, there's obviously lots of banter that's really fun too. And Mr. Raw Milk Drinker. So it's just a lot of, I think it's been a new version of Skool that I wish more people would choose to do together, even if it's not for moderating. Like our bond is moderation. Like I didn't know Elena before. I didn't actually know Jesse. I just shouted him out because I knew that he was always so helpful in Skoolers, right? And that is what you guys can do with your communities or with your bonds. And that's why it's important to kind of like learn what other people are into or about, so that you can create your little circles. And it's a beautiful thing about Skool that we can be all over the world, literally. And like if Tristram needed something and he's in New Zealand, I'd do it, you know? And I'm all the way over in America. So it's really cool that we have these capabilities, you know? So speaking of raw milk drinkers, what's your most rewarding part of being a moderator, Ellis?
Thank you. To be honest, I've always said this. I think it's that basically since the beginning that I love the team. I think if the team was different or we didn't have a team, then moderating wouldn't be as fun. Because like you said, we're on like moderating, even if it's not our turn to moderate. We're always talking to each other. We're joking around about everything. It's work, but it doesn't feel like work. So it's basically the best work you can do. That's why I love moderating. And also, this is apart from the team, but helping people out when people have questions and I answer quickly, for example, and people say thank you. That really helps. That's a good part. It's a nice feeling of being a moderator. Also, moderating and having a community is a bit like a garden. You need to clean it up. You need to have a nice garden, like fresh green grass, bees. You don't want wasps. You don't want flies. And having a nice clean garden with people asking questions, making good posts, and you answer them, and they thank you, and they're nice to each other. It's like being a moderator. It's like your job's you've done a good job, and it's a nice feeling at the end of the day. So, Martha.
I'm picturing this garden in my mind right now. Ellis, thank you for the picture. The most rewarding thing about being a moderator, I'm going to sound a little bit cliche, but it's being a moderator. And to give context to this, I never had the privilege of being a part of a community like this, let alone a team like this, and online. I never been online before school. And I never wanted to be online because I just heard the horror things about stuff that you probably know better than me. And so I was very skeptic to even show my face online. And being chosen to do this is such a privilege and an honor. I will be falling short to say was the most rewarding thing, because for me, just being here, occupying this chair, and having the privilege to gatekeep the space, the quality, gatekeeping quality, keeping quality, and keeping the bees and the bugs and all the stuff that Ellie say in the garden away, putting a beautiful net over this garden. Like, there's no higher honor. In this team, I cannot tell you, when they say that they are around, when they're not supposed to be around or on duty, let's say, it's true. And thank the Lord for that, because as I become a moderator, because I'm still learning and getting the hang of everything, including being online and learning how to type all at once, which, Kirby, thank you. Elena, thank you. You guys saw something, I guess, and thank you. It's an honor. So while all this is happening, having the team have my back the way you guys have had these couple months, it just means everything to me. So this is rewarding, just being able to have the hat of moderator on. And with that, popcorn to Tristan.
Yeah, I'm going to be like straight up honest, and it's for me, like, one of the good things that most rewarding is just having the status. I think a lot of us want status, especially if you're a guy. You definitely, status is something definitely important to you, and just seeing your name in the admin list of one of the biggest groups on school, and I'll be honest about that, it feels pretty cool. And that's the first part. I felt like, if I was being honest about
good answer.
Because when you get asked, like, all of us have been shoulder tapped by Kirby, and when you do that, when you get that from a guy like Kirby, it just feels really cool. It's just like, wow, like, he thinks I'm important. Like, that's, I think that it's something like really good for all of us, for all of the team, and anybody else. The other thing that's really rewarding is seeing the journey of Skoolers, right? So you'll see someone, they'll come in on one day, they'll make a self-promotion post and tell everybody to join their group, and then they'll remove their post, and then they get all upset, and then we tell them the rules, and then 30 days later, they're still here. They understand the rules, and then they're educating the next person that comes in and self-promotes. And so seeing the journey of people and their growth, over time, and then they make a post, and then they're like, oh, I've been here for 60 days, and this is how my group's grown by like 50 people. And then I'll comment, I'm like, man, I remember you from the first day, and I remember your first day. And they're like, yeah, I remember you. And then a lot of people just tell me, like, oh, thanks for sharing the rules with me in the beginning, and I remember when you moderated me, and then now I'm all good. And like, just seeing the journey like that has been cool. So most rewarding part for me everything else that everybody else said, but also those two as well. Yeah.
I think that's so right, and have to just say that you're the strongest moderator. You started that fun thing where it was like we were like the tallest moderator, the strongest moderator, the healthiest moderator.
I always try and start trends.
Yep, always a trend starter. That is what Mr. Tristram is, the most trend starter moderator. So I wanted to throw one more thing back out. Is like we've done this before. We've done pin hunts, like pinning comments, and or like getting to choose together, because we choose together when things are a gem or if they're in the fun category, you know. And then we also get to go out there and thank people for like being really helpful or doing something amazing. Getting to celebrate the wins, I think, is like more rewarding than having to be like, hey, don't do that. You know. So that was also another rewarding part. Now I have a spicy question, which if nobody wants to answer, don't. Just this is not going to be a popcorn. You just jump in if you want to. But how do you feel about the growth boost posts? Good, bad, the ugly, the good, the great, the praise. What are your thoughts if you want to jump in?
I think it's actually very cool that people are already finding success, even though growth boost is like basically brand new, needs to be optimized. And I really like seeing that. I also don't mind seeing people like sharing feedback, like, hey, how is it for you? How do you experience it? Because the team is also looking at that, like, because then your feedback also gets used to improve it over time. So yeah, I like it either way. Yeah.
I remember I was listening to Sam on a podcast one time, and he was like, I really appreciate when people give feedback, whether it's positive or negative, because it shows that they care enough about my product to leave that feedback. And that's been such a fundamental mindset shift for me as a moderator, because before it was like if somebody gave something negative about the product, I kind of felt anxious about it. I'm like, oh, maybe we should delete this. Maybe, it shouldn't be here. Like we just like, it's bad, but it shows that the people care enough to go, hey, this is important to me and something feels off about this, and or I don't like, or it's not useful for me, and this is why. And I've found that super helpful to be able to like view those posts through that lens. And so with Growth Boost, we spent a lot of time as moderators talking about, okay, like how do we roll this out? How do we talk about it in Skoolers? How do we help answer questions that people have about it? And there's still some people that don't like it and they don't want to use it as a feature. And I want to clarify that I have seen some people, when we do turn off comments in Skoolers, or, we like turn on, or like Sam messages you, or we turn off the comments or something, people go, well, oh, they're censoring us. And I want to just clarify from our side of things, in no way is it meant to censor. It's, hey, we've heard your feedback. We're listening to you. And it's almost a way to be like, hey, we got it. Like, you don't need to keep reiterating or keep repeating yourself or anything like that. And so it's been a journey. It's been really interesting to see what people's experiences have been, and trying to be empathetic throughout the entire process has been the goal the whole time.
I'd agree. I think that the good, the bad, the ugly, all of that, I love all of it. And whether it's Growth Boost, whether it's like tiers, whether it was affiliates, no matter what it was, right? I love that Skoolers speak out. Good, bad, and ugly. All of that. Because what has happened, and this goes really like back to the core, where it's like Kirby and Sam leading by example, like they are in their community daily, right? Or almost every day. Unless like Sam is off with the redwoods and like finding rocks that his daughter knocks piles over with, right? The awesome parts. The passionate rocks. And I really appreciate it because of the people that have been upset with it, or people that have questions, or people that push back. I have learned so much more about Growth Boost than I would have ever known about it. It doesn't make me like join their side of going like, oh no, I don't like it. Actually, it made me clarify things even more, where I'm like, oh no, this totally makes more sense now. Like I thought I had an understanding, or maybe I was just trusting Sam. You know, our whole thing of like trust Sam, and I do trust him, but now I trust him with more understanding. I have more explanation because of the people that are willing to be brave enough to ask or brave enough to say something, right? Because it still takes like I really like there is a part of courage and confidence to go into a platform where there are people posting success and saying great things and then say, hey, I'm not having that. So I agree though too, like I appreciate Sam turning those off too, because if you are stuck in a perspective, which I have been as well in the past, we all know there's like this one thing that I did not like one time. But it was, I've had my comments turned off before, and it's okay because we don't want to have things lead people or do cause them harm, right? And this is my perspective on it. Like, I wouldn't want my confusion and my lack of understanding of something to have somebody else make a decision that wouldn't be good for them, right? And so I do like that he does set a limit. It's like, no, we did hear you, and thank you for the feedback. And it's not that it's like just disappeared. It's that it's still in testing, right? So I also really, really, really love seeing all these people hitting trending and these people coming up with like a really good concept and then doing really good packaging and then bam, and then seeing all my friends in ads. Like I've never been on Facebook more since the Growth Boost came out. Like I was like only on Facebook if I needed something from Facebook Marketplace, and then now I'm like on there all the time just to look for the ads, and then I'm like off. So I might be confusing my Facebook friends because I was like never on there and now I am. But yeah, it's been fun. Did anybody else want to talk about Growth Boost posts or anything?
I also
Yeah.
think it's good. Oh,
Let's go.
okay, thank you. Also, it was just quick anyway. I think it's also good people make posts because a negative post, for example, I don't like Growth Boost because of this, and this. Maybe you just misunderstood it, and by making a post, someone that does properly understand Growth Boost can come in the comments and explain everything properly, and then you say, oh, it's not that bad actually, I'll turn it back on, let's see how it goes, and then in a week you just gain I don't know how many members, and you're like, thank you. So post, even if you don't like certain things, just post it, and then maybe someone give their opinion and or explain something and you'll love it. So yeah. Tristram, go on then.
Yeah, I'm just someone that just trusts in Sam, eh? Like, everything he's pretty much done and his whole, if you know his whole history of where he started, I've pretty much bought every kind of product, and so I just blindly believe him now, and just like because I know he like whatever he comes up with is going to be pretty good. So, if you're someone like me, and you just blindly just trust him, you know, and he's obviously a lot smarter than I would say most of us, because of he started this whole thing, and so I just trust in the leader, and so he's leading out there. He's in the community. He's in the trenches with us, answering comments. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
I want to say that I don't think a lot of people know this, because some people think, oh, Growth Boost, it's so new. Like they just recently decided this. No, Sam has had this in his mind and in his plans for years, right? Growth Boost was his whole plan and how he's designed and how he had to do a lot of building and a lot of things to get it to the point where he could turn Growth Boost on and like make it work. He hired a person specifically to help with it, you know. So it's not, he didn't think of this lightly and just present it and be like, oh yeah, this is a new thing. No, Sam was like very intentionally thinking about like, how can I help other people, how can I help community owners get members, right? Solve the problem that sometimes they have a hard time doing themselves. So that's pretty cool. What is one thing behind the scenes members would find interesting? Mirtha?
Spotlight. Okay. The transparency, the non-biasy, approach. I have to say that's even surprised me as I came onto the team behind the scenes. Like what you guys see in the front end of school is what you see in the back end of school. And I think that is magical and really cool. Should I popcorn someone, Jenna? Jesse?
The funniest thing behind the scenes is that when Zinger is moderating, she sometimes takes like breaks and then she's like, oh, I'm just gonna go away and do something. And then like half an hour later, she posts a image of, I don't even know how to pronounce it, like Bach, but that's the Dutch pronunciation, but Bach basically. And every time in the thread, there's just something related to school, but then incorporated with Bach. For example, when Growth Boost was announced, we had Bach opting into Growth Boost, and it's pretty much daily, and it's just so much fun. Yeah, that's a very cool behind the scenes thing. What do you think, Singer?
I love it. I love how it kind of evolved because Bach, right? It's like, oh, I'm back. Like I'm getting back from break, but it's Bach the musician. And so it's just like such a funny little like play on words. And I didn't even think anything at first. We like have this little emoji. So I just like dropped it in our channel. And then like slowly over time, it like evolved into we're always going to be doing something with Bach in some way, shape, or form. And so it's a good time. I love it. It's just like one of the ways to make things fun. And that's what I really appreciate about school is like we intentionally go out of our way to make things fun. And it's important to do that in your own community too, because it's so much more enjoyable to be in there when you have that thing to look forward to. So I like that. How I would answer this question is that we don't use AI. Like I've had people ask, like, do you use any kind of AI when it comes to the moderation? Like, do you have a bot that will comb through the post and delete things or anything like that? I mean, we all have auto mod, but that's for everybody's community. So you know how it works. If you've been in your own community, you see how it reports posts, but it will never delete anything. It doesn't say like, oh, we have to ban this user. Like all of that is manual. We will go through and we'll talk about every single post that comes through. We'll go, hey, like this is the context behind the post. So like, it's not just, yep, there we go. There's the Bach. That was our most recent one based on the school news. So if you don't get it, you got to go watch the school news. But yeah, that we don't use any AI. So that's what I would say. I'll pass it to Ellis.
Two seconds. I had something. I completely lost it because I just saw the image and I saw the community Cosmonigia.
Yeah, can you pronounce it for us? I would like you to pronounce it.
Cosmonigia Maxin, something like that. So I'm going to pass on to Tristram until I find my idea back.
Cosmogonia, wasn't it?
Something like that. It was a great community. It's like a Hell Yeah community.
Yeah, they look pretty. Something behind the scenes you find that members would find interesting. Pretty much like you get to like just see a little bit behind school, and what goes on and who the people are, I guess, is the cool thing, And so, yeah, I think people would find that interesting anyway. Did you get your thought yet, Alice?
Yes, respect. Thank God you said that, because have people seen Fast and Furious 7 or 8, something like that? God's Eye. Moderators are like... Oh. Sorry. The moderator team, a bit like God's Eye, we see pretty much everything. So there's nothing that gets past us. Someone maybe needs to mute himself. So yeah, we see everything. So don't try and be sneaky. We see you. So yeah, there we go. Jenna, I don't know whose go it was. I'm lost. Jenna.
All right. We see all, but we don't remember who's next. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think that is something that's interesting. Like, we did have the ability to get, like, know when a post is made, right? But there's still things that like, people can leave comments, and we try to get through the comments too. So something behind the scenes is like, yes, we do see all the posts, but we don't always see all the comments. And I'm saying that knowing that I'm saying this to Skoolers right now, but we really... No, Tristram!
The strongest
Where'd you
moderator.
go?
He's gone.
Maybe he'll jump back. Maybe he's busy. We did go over time, but it's been really good. We're almost wrapping up. Oh, here he is. Let me add him right back. Do 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 do. There he is. But we really appreciate when other Skoolers are helping keep Skoolers safe, right? So behind the scenes, you don't understand. You seeing comments where people are breaking the rules. Now, we don't want to, like, assume intentions that they're, like, on purpose breaking the rules. They might not know them, right? But it's so helpful for you to report, and it's anonymous. It's only to us. We're going to be the ones to see it. And then we handle it. And we do all of the like, every once in a while, you'll see us sometimes say some things, or we'll turn off comments. Like, those are the things that you would see that are public. But then we are still also... handling most of the conversations behind the doors. Like, we praise in public, and we correct and redirect in private most of the time, you know. And so I really appreciate that, because it feels more connected too, because there'll be times where I'm back and forth with somebody in the chat, right? And it's like it's clear that they don't get it, and it's not that they're trying to not get it. They want to get it. And then we can go back and forth, and then it's like, aha, you got it. And then it's rewarding, like Tristram was saying, it's rewarding to see that. And then it's like, also behind the scenes, you don't see how many DMs, or how much we're working, or how much we're doing all this other stuff behind the scenes. And there's been some times where I'll be like, I'll send them something, and then somebody's like, answer me now. And I'm like, I'm sorry, there's so many other people talking to me. I'm not trying to ignore you, I promise. So yeah, there's a lot of things that go on, but we really do appreciate when Skoolers, when they recognize something that's not good or not within the rules, because they know the rules, and they report it just to kind of give us a heads up, and we'll review it, and then we'll handle it. Sometimes we don't delete it right away. We actually message them because it just needed to be edited or whatever, you know? So we really do appreciate that. We have one last thing to go through. Where to go? Finish the sentence. Ready? We'll just go around and we'll finish the sentence. You know you've moderated too much when Tristram leaves us again. Ah! But just state you've moderated too much when, and then finish the sentence. So we're gonna do it. Am I being nice, or am I not being nice? You guys decide. Yes? No?
Don't be nice.
Stick to how you normally are. Not nice.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead, Ellis. You're first.
I know when I don't know. I know when I'm moderating too much, when I'm trying to think of something. I know that I try and not moderate, but I report lots of posts now in other communities. And I'm like, when something is in a certain way, then I want to clean it up, we'll say. And certain communities, because some communities are a mess, and I can't stay in them. So yeah, that's me. Jesse.
You know you've moderated too much when you receive emojis about how late you're staying up. This is also a little bit of a behind the scenes thing. It's like, you have a GIF, I think you can find on Skool. It's like, if you type in Roomba, you will see GIFs of cats sitting on Roombas and just turning around. That's kind of like the sign of like, hey, you are up way too late. And so you know you've moderated too much when you get the Roomba emoji sent to you. Like, okay, it's time to go to bed, maybe. I'm getting the hint. What do you think, Tristan, now that you're back? Like, be quick.
Camera's still not working, so still technical issues. But finish the sentence. You know you've moderated too much when Shiggers. Whatever everyone else said. Sorry, I missed it. No, you know when you know all the shortcuts. We use a whole bunch of shortcuts, and you just know them all off by heart. That's when you know you moderate too much. When you start moderating, when you're not actually moderating. Or on shift to moderate.
When you steal other people's dopamine. Sorry, Trisha.
Yeah, actually, when Jenna steals my what did we call it? Dopamine hits.
Yeah. Dopamine hits. The Roomba cats unite. Mirtha, you want to go?
Sure. You know you moderated too much when you are in an entire different community and you're looking for the actual shortcuts to do something you're not doing. You're just there reading a post and it's not Skoolers, you know? And you're like, oh no, this shouldn't be here. And you're like, oh yeah, but it's not your job. So, how about Lena?
Yes, you know you've moderated too much when you set your location on Skool to be Skoolers because you live there. That's my location on Skool. Jenna, I'll pass it to you.
That's funny. I had mine like somewhere on Skool for a while and I took it off. But I'm always going to claim this, and I have to claim this, that I was the first person to pin myself in Antarctica. So, as soon as maps came out, yeah.
Stop lying. That's not true.
No, it is true. How do I do this? Banned from studio. Just kidding. So, you know you've moderated too much when you start using Skool as your topic of discussion with everybody you know. And like I've had to catch myself saying like, well, what I would do in that case is I would just like tell them that that's off topic. And I'm like, oh, you know, or like you can NRN something. And I'm like, well, I just NRN that.
NRN, hold on. You got to give him context. NRN is no response needed.
Okay. Yeah. NRN is no response needed. So when there's things going on in real life and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just going to NRN that. Or I'll tell somebody, I'll be like, you could NRN that. And they're like, what's NRN mean?
If you could NRN somebody, like if you're in a conversation with them, just like an in-person conversation, you're just like, nope. No more. We're done.
No more. Yep.
NRN. We're exiting the combo.
I may have labeled a certain number NRN in my phone. So it's fun. But it's like you start using Skoolers stuff to just be your everyday life, or like the amount of meme. Like, okay, come on. How many memes do we make right after school news, Jesse? It's like our next 30 minutes after school news, just making memes, because it's fun, you know. And you know you've moderated too much when you end up spending most of your time on. Yeah, I think that's it. Not touching grass, not needing to take like I need to take a day off. What's a day off mean? You know, I think that's it. So I did want to end this with us all saying a huge thanks to all of the Skoolers for starting a community, because we are here because of you guys. So we're here to support you, you know. We really appreciate you. So if you made it through this long recording, I know we planned on it being 30 minutes, but there's so many good things to say. But thank you for being here, and thank you for hearing us and listening to us. And if you ever feel like needing to say something or post something, etc., you know, just do it. You know, it's gonna help somebody else. It's gonna
DM
help us,
Jenna.
and it's gonna help somebody else. No, DM Ellis. Everybody, send a DM to Ellis. Ask him about raw milk. Okay. But we could all unmute and just say bye, and we'll end this recording.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.